mind started running wild with
Yeah. I know the song.
First time you ever went to an arcade,
Oh, of course.
the incredible, life-changing prizes available, and your mind started running wild with possibilities. Shit, all right. I'll take the electric guitar, the skateboard, the PlayStation 2, 1,000 Tootsie Rolls.
They have a PlayStation 2
animal
available?
that's taller than me. Hey, Toots, would you mind wrapping them up in plastic for me? I'll wet the bed. And then 2 hours and $47 later, you realize you've only earned enough tickets to buy one whoopee cushion? Well, not to brag or anything, but I'm old as fuck now. And I'm pretty good at games. Or at least better than I used to be. So for this
Who this
video,
twink?
I decided
This
to
is
test out an
Ludwig,
idea that
apparently.
I wanted to do basically my
According
whole
to
life.
that one
I
guy.
want to find out if you can profit at an arcade. If I just play the one game I'm best at over and over and over again, can I ultimately earn a prize that's worth more than the amount of money that I spent on the tokens? I didn't need to say all that. You read the title, you know what I'm gonna do. So I headed to the second most touristy part of Orlando, Florida, to a place called Main Event, which is somewhere in between Dave & Buster's and Chuck E. Cheese. In spirit, I should say. Geographically
I've never
speaking,
been to
Dave &
Chuck E.
Buster's
Cheese.
is in the middle. This
Is it
place
Chuck-
has
is it,
everything. Bowling, laser
Sorry.
tag, a weird obstacle course hanging from the ceiling. But I don't have time for any of that right now. The reason I dragged my wife here at 3 p.m. on a Friday is to figure out the most efficient game to play and the best prize to buy. Now, this isn't like the old days anymore where you gotta lug
coin
around
game
a
IRL.
75-pound bucket of tokens. The first thing you do here is preload cash
gonna
onto
say,
a
is
fun
Chuck E.
card,
Cheese
which
in
holds all of your
Canada?
credits and then also the points you earn from the game. And I gotta say, I immediately got overwhelmed from the onslaught of numbers. Okay, so 200 credits
Oh, it is? I've never seen one
40,
here.
or it's not $40, it's $35. And 300 credits should be, quite frankly, $60, but it's not, it's only $50. And everyone keeps saying that 500 credits costs $100. It doesn't, it's only $75. You save $25 when you buy that, which you can use to buy 140 credits, which is actually $28. And plus, I don't know what any of that means. If I buy this one, does that mean I can play 200 games? No. Most games cost anywhere between 7.5 and 8.5 credits, which are such confusing numbers to keep track of. Why even include a decimal at all? Who thought of this? The last time I came here in 2019, I remember each machine just telling you how much it cost in terms of dollars. But if I had to guess, I'd say they changed it to be purposely confusing so you don't realize how much money you're actually blowing through with every passing game. It's kind of like how if I saw a Fortnite skin that said, this costs $20, I would be like, hell no. I'm not spending $20 on this.
But if it said
I'm gonna buy
2,000
$20
credits,
worth of V-Bucks because then the costume is free. As with most arcades, there are pretty much 3 types of games here. There are the fun ones like Basketball Connect 4, air hockey, Flappy Bird but big. Typically these are the ones you earn the least amount of points for playing, but if you're just here to have a good time, that doesn't matter. Then there's the luck-based games, which can, in theory...
Oh, this one? Take this game, but the Japanese one, and then you see some guy pull up with gloves, you know it's about to get serious.
Doesn't matter. Then there's the luck-based games, which can, in theory, earn you a whole bunch of tickets, but you have no control over that because it's essentially just a giant slot machine with SpongeBob on it. And then lastly, there are skill-based games where technically you could earn the jackpot every time. The only thing stopping you from doing so is your own ability. The only downside is they're usually tedious and stressful and the least fun options out of all the games in the arcade. So in other words, they're perfect for this video. Let me tell you, I was ecstatic when I walked in and saw that they still had this ball cup game. This is the machine I had in mind when I was planning this video because I used to abuse the hell out of this. While the rest of my friends were playing skee ball and enjoying themselves, I was just standing on this machine for one whole hour.
Dad, is that man
hoping
gonna
to
be
earn
done with the
best
machine
prize out of the
soon?
group. See, I was playing the long game. Sure, maybe you guys had more fun that night because you got to play Mario Olympics and Vin Diesel Simulator, but I get to have this forever. So, who actually came out on top. Anyways, back to the ball game. So the goal with this is to get all 50 balls into these spinning cups without losing any of them, and you have to do so before time runs out. You really gotta try to be perfect with this one because the difference between getting 49 balls and getting all 50 is massive. But once you get the rhythm down, it's possible to start stacking jackpots and become the queen of the arcade. When I started out though, I was blowing through tries so fast. I'd started sweating immediately. I got very tense and nervous. I think the pressure of the video was mounting on me. And every time I would be just one ball away from the jackpot, the disappointment and frustration would hit me like a ton of bricks. Or a ton of feathers. They both weigh the same. But I managed to calm myself down,
Drew.
gain my composure, and on my 10th try, I did it. Give me that jackpot, baby. That'll be 711 points, please.
I love you now.
Now I just gotta stand here for 4 minutes while the machine counts up all my points one at a time for some reason. Why does this take so long? Is there a little guy in there trying to count them up by hand? Just use a calculator, dude. It's like they're trying to discourage you from winning the jackpots by making them
Maybe they want everybody
well,
to
while
cheer
we're
you-
waiting for
you
that, I
on.
do just want to say, unironically, I was so relieved when I won this. I think I had built this video up so much in my head over the past couple years, and I just felt it all falling apart before my eyes. When I started losing again and again and again, I started to freak out and think, did they make the game harder? Or worse, am I just dumb now? Am I gonna have to go to Chuck E. Cheese? They'll never let me in there. I'm almost 30. Oh, hey, my points are done. With the satisfaction
Will they
of
really
one,
not let you in?
that's right, a single
Can you
win
book an
in my
adult
belt,
Chuck
I
E.
decided
Cheese
to just
party?
enjoy the rest of my night with Amanda, knowing I was gonna have to come here by myself later in the week anyway. We went bowling for the first time in about 5 years, which reminded me that I am possibly the worst bowler in the entire world, including babies. I think a baby would do
I
better
went bowling
than I
once,
did. The
my
second
arms
game
started
though, I was like,
hurting
wait,
so
who are
bad.
we trying to fool by doing regular mode? Let me just throw the bumpers up and then we'll have way more fun. Just kidding, I sucked at that too. Then we ate dinner, which was it was fine. There's just something about cubed meat that makes me feel like I'm being given my rations for the day. When we were done eating, I decided to try out a few other games, but I quickly came to the conclusion that nothing was going to be as productive or efficient as Quick Drop. I should probably talk about the prizes, because that's the other thing I have to figure out. The single most expensive item in here is, for some reason, a minion named Turbo Dave. Just below that are some random kitchen appliances, some extremely cheap in here. The single most
They have an Instax.
expensive item in
film.
here is, for some
Isn't
reason,
that like a 60
minion
60 bucks?
named Turbo Dave. Just below that are some random kitchen appliances, some extremely
fucking
cheap-looking
toaster?
electronics. You know, the kind of headphones you buy for $3 at a CVS checkout line and they stop working before you even make it back to your car. There's a bunch of vlogging and podcasting gear. Then they've got a few plushies, which range from Among Us
Turbo
to
Dave is more
Terra-
expensive than Instax? Yeah, why? What the fuck?
Buying a fake wad of gum, you know, for pranks. And then finally, a whole bunch of candy that you throw in when you don't have very many points left. I always find it interesting to see how they price these things because it's not like there's a 1-to-1 ratio of points to dollars. Like, I don't think that the minion on a hoverboard is worth 14 Marvel mugs or 400 blow pops, but I'm not in charge of an arcade.
All right, babe, let's see that haul.
That's just what Amanda got with her entree and tickets.
I found out you can save your points for up to 5 years. I don't think I'm gonna be saving them that long, but I am gonna come back in a couple days. I've got about 1,700 points stocked up. $37 in, I believe.
So yeah, not off to a great start in terms of profiting, but I may have discovered a loophole. You see, anytime you buy something at Main Event, they give you the option to fill out a survey on their website in exchange for a free 30-minute game card. If I could stand on this machine for 30 straight minutes, I could win thousands of tickets without having to spend even one more dollar.
Is
It's
that
the
Hank?
perfect plan. So I headed
From
back
League
to
of
the
Le- I mean,
second
Breaking
most
Bad?
touristy part
What
of
the fuck,
Orlando,
Hank from League
and
of
I
Legends?
swiped my card again, and I dropped those balls, and turns out you don't actually get any points from the free plays. So
Daph sit, daph sit.
'twas not
What the
perfect
fuck?
plan.
What a
But I still had
scam!
fun. Not that that matters for this video. I did get to play possibly the funniest game of Deal or No Deal in its entire history. Obviously, I couldn't risk ending up with only one ticket, so I decided to accept his offer of one ticket. Anyway, after farting around for half an hour, I decided to just suck it up, spend another $35, and I headed back to my favorite stress game. Took me a few tries to get back into the swing of things, but on my 5th game, I won the jackpot. Then 3 games later, I won it again, and 2 games later, I won it again, and at this point, no one could stop me. I won twice in a row, then 3 times, then 4 times before capping my streak off at 5 consecutive jackpots. If this isn't poggers, then I don't know what is. Grandma, if you're watching this, poggers is a gaming term for when someone does a good job. So.
Let's go, Drew!
Can you tell Grandpa too? Also, do you like how nervous I look filming all of these shots? I felt like the biggest idiot every time I picked up my phone to record myself winning the stupid game. The thought of someone watching me be proud of this is so embarrassing. Just looking at me from across the room like, does this guy have a job? It's Wednesday. Go home. Well, sorry to break it to you, person I made up in my head, but this is my job now. The arcade is my office, and I'm gonna give myself a raise. Just when I could feel myself starting to get a little bit too cocky, the universe sent another obstacle my way. Maximum payout?
What?
So now I'm getting punished for being too good at the game? At this point, I'm pissed. At least warn me ahead of time when I'm getting close. Like, hey, you might want to slow down.
That's cap. You're right. It is capped.
There, big guy. This machine's almost empty. Also, what? You ran out of virtual tickets? Just make more of them. I thought about it, and I think this might be why they count up your points so slowly. So that by the time they've arbitrarily decided to stop giving you points, you've already spent $8 more on the machine, all for nothing. I even had to watch them count up my unawarded tickets one by one. And at this point, you're just taunting me. Anyway, when the dust finally settled, I had lost about 1.5 jackpots. Very upsetting, not gonna lie, but I don't think this completely ruins my plan. I'm pretty sure this is only a temporary limit. I think it's just there to keep you from hogging one machine during peak hours, which is fair, by the way. If I had a line of kids behind me waiting for their turn and I was just like, sorry, I'm making a video, that would be pretty selfish. But I came here in the middle of a school day and there was nary a child in sight. Since I wasn't sure if I'd ever have this many points at once again, I decided to cash out on day 2 and buy myself the hot dog toaster I had my eyes on from the moment I walked in the room.
Now, I'm not sure I would say that this is the best day of my life, but it's definitely in the top 5. I actually feel kind of bad because I had to get one of the employees to not only grab a ladder from the storage room, but also get like a special key to unlock the high value prize
The high value prize section.
Confused. I was hoping he might be like, oh, that's funny, you got the hot dog toaster. No one's ever redeemed this before. But I don't think he really said more than 2 words.
All right, babe. I know you have a long day work. Close your eyes. I know work's been crazy lately, but I have something for you. Open your eyes.
Thanks.
It's not for you.
If I open it and there's like crumbs in it, I'm gonna laugh.
I'm gonna cry. Oh, it's smiling at us.
Was that a thing? Was hot dog toasters
I
a
doubt
thing?
it.
All my baby boomers in the chat, sound off. Was hot dog toasters a thing? Let me know.
With enough credits left to play 9 more games of Quick Drop, I headed into day 3 with a very clear goal in mind. From all the Googling I've done, I'm pretty sure this Marvel mug has the best points to potential resale value ratio of all of the redeemable items here. If each attempt cost me about $2, and I think I could reasonably sell this mug for $10, that means out of 5 tries, I only need to get 2 jackpots to turn a profit. If I get really lucky and win 5 jackpots in a row like I did yesterday, then I have enough for 3 mugs, at which point I could be potentially making a $20 profit. And so on and so forth until I've sold 1 mug to every human being on the face of the planet, and I'll finally have enough money to buy my own private island that no one's invited to. Also, fine, I'll explain my strategy with the game so you too can try to win at this specific machine in Orlando, Florida. The secret is to just drop 4 balls at a time. That's pretty much it. They even show you that in the little tutorial video that plays, and yet I still see so many people try to drop all 50 balls in 1 second like they're in a hurry to lose. If you drop exactly 4 balls every spin, which is pretty easy to do.
I just imagine him, if some guy was using that machine before him, and they're just trying their best, and he's just standing there like, this guy doesn't know what I know. Wait till it's my turn.
You will end up with 48 out of the 50 balls with the time that you are given. That means at some point during the 12 turns, you only have to drop 1 extra ball twice to end up with 50. Personally, I like to get those 5th balls out of the way early so I know how hard I need to focus for the rest of the game. But if you'd rather save them for the end because you'll have the rhythm down at that point, I can't blame you. I'm just impressed that you flew all the way to Orlando to play this game. As usual, I got off to a bit of a shaky start. Probably didn't help that I forgot to take my Tom Brady brain pills like I did on day 2. I hope they don't consider that an illegal substance here, and it's not like the arcade equivalent of steroids in baseball. But after a few tries, I was able to win the massive jackpot that everybody else had graciously accrued for me. You see, every time someone loses this game, the jackpot goes up by 1 and resets when someone wins. So this means there had been about 300 losses in a row, and I got to benefit from that. That's another variable to throw into the math here, but even without that, 600 points is nothing to sneeze at. Anyway, after 3 days of mashing one button a million times and a hot dog toaster already sitting pretty in my kitchen, I headed to get my reward. Lucky for me, I got to ask the same guy from yesterday for help grabbing the LED sign that was just out of my reach. Instead of using a ladder though, he just kind of climbed on top of the shelves, and I really admired the creativity. Am I gonna somehow profit off of this sign? No. But to me, having a man cave that's open all day, every day, is priceless. Oh, also I grabbed the mug that I came here for. I keep getting distracted by funnier prizes. As much as I wanted to race home and enjoy a celebratory cup of decaf coffee out of my new mug, it was time to get down to business. And I threw that bad boy up on the world's worst commerce website, Facebook Marketplace, and I waited and waited and waited. And just when I was starting to lose hope, my friend Cody offered to buy it from me with real American money. Sorry for the abrupt exit, Cody, but I had to rush home and count my earnings.
10.
I couldn't believe my success. I earned enough points to buy that mug with 1 game of Quick Drop. These kind of profit margins are unheard of. Jeff Bezos who? There's a new guy in town. Why did I even bother going to community college for 8 months when I could have been investing that tuition money into the school of video games? Let's go ahead and break down the numbers, shall we? Sorry, I don't have a regular dry erase board, so this calendar is gonna have to do. Day 1, we spent $37. I still don't know why it was 37 and not 35. I guess the card itself, it cost $2 because when I refilled it, it was exactly 35 the next day, but I don't fucking know. We also spent $48 on bowling and $70 on food and drinks, but that doesn't count. That's not part of it. I'm just saying that that's what we did. Okay, but $72 spent on game credits, and here is what we earned. Number 1, a state-of-the-art hot dog toaster, a relic of simpler times, a rare and priceless artifact that is currently being sold on Amazon for $25. But let's say I was gonna buy that anyway, and in doing so, I saved $25, which is almost like earning $25, because penny saved, penny earned. Benjamin Franklin? Last I heard, he's the guy who electrocuted himself on purpose, so I think he knows a thing or two about math. We also got the man cave sign, and again, let's say I was gonna buy that anyway. Well, currently, that's being sold on eBay for an average of about $40. At less than 2,000 points, that's a bargain. If you're wondering why I didn't just try to sell that one instead, that's because I didn't think anyone would buy it. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Finally, of course, we have the mug, which I sold for $10. Now, if you have a calculator at home and you're playing along, you may have noticed that this number is bigger than this number. I'm trying to think if there's a word for that, like a math word, you know, for when you make more money than you spend on something. What's the term again? Oh, that's right. I think it's called a profit. And that's not even mentioning the fact that I practically threw away half my tickets on day 1, and the machine stole over 900 points for me on day 2, and I forgot to get my parking validated on day 3, so I had to pay for that myself. Also, I guess if you factor in like gas and stuff, because I had to drive a lot, that's probably another like $15. You know what, on second thought, I think we're just gonna call that part a wash. I made a $3 profit, and that is a success. So to answer the question of can you profit at an arcade, the answer is technically yes. Obviously, it depends on which arcade you're at, what prizes they have, if there's a machine that you can win consistently. But for this specific ball drop machine, I have learned that if I just win
I think you can
jackpots
just get
over
kicked
and
out
over and over
if
again,
you
making
want
sure
too
to take
much.
breaks so I don't hit the payout limit, I can absolutely redeem my points on something that I would have wanted to buy anyway and save a few bucks in the process. Am I gonna somehow turn this into a full-time job? You never know. I mean, I would pretty much be actively crashing the blue Marvel mug market by increasing the supply so much. Absolute best case scenario, I could see myself locking in minimum wage, but I would run out of people to sell mugs to eventually. Or, before any of that happens, the arcade might just run out of them, or they'll catch on to what I'm doing and nerf the machine I like, or raise the price of the prizes,
don't nerf
or put
the
a photo
machine.
of my face on the wall that says, "Do not let this guy play quick drop, he is bleeding us dry." I guess if I had to pick one thing that I learned in this video, it's that unless you have a concrete plan going into it, and you've already done the math, you're probably only going to lose money at an arcade. Also, don't do what I almost did in this video and get really excited by the idea of selling something for a profit, because I almost got like a bunch of mugs before even seeing if they would sell, and then I barely sold one of them. Remember, the value of a product is only what someone is willing to pay for it. This isn't RuneScape. I can't just throw my Avengers mug into the Grand Exchange and get a bunch of gold coins for it. I have to use Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook Marketplace is the worst. All right, well, I'm gonna go toast a hot dog, which apparently is a thing that people do, and while that's cooking up, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. I don't have much time to explain, but today's video is sponsored by... And I, of course, toasted with our novelty retro hot dog toaster. Also, both buns are toasted in there. They've got a nice even burn on the bottom. So I'm excited about that. But what Amanda's gonna do is she's gonna mix them up, and then I'm gonna close my eyes and try to guess which is which, and then also say which one I like more. And we'll see if the hot dog toaster is superior.
Wait.
All right, bottoms up.
No
It's hard to even
condiments.
taste the hot dog because the bun is so burnt and dry. I think that was a toasted one because that didn't really taste like much. I guess we'll see. That tastes way better. That's gotta be the grilled one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back. There's one fry on the ground.